Hey, you ready for us?
Hey.
All right. This is the guy you need to be scared of.
Scared? Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I came. Right.
Feel free to have a seat.
There we go. How are you?
Good.
How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. Are you wearing the same suit?
Huh?
Are you?
Nah, I switch them up for every interview.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, man.
No, this is the same suit. Laughter.
I wonder if you're kind of like, what's his face from, was it How I Met Your Mother? You know, always got a suit. Was it
Barney?
Barney? There you go.
They say all he has is suits, so.
Yeah. His pajamas are suits. So like everything.
All right.
Have you seen his business card?
Mm-mm.
You gotta show him your business card.
I didn't bring any. Everybody knows me here.
Okay. All right.
All right. You're the boss, right?
Yep.
He's got a business card that's so thick, like, I'm surprised he didn't set off the metal detectors. Like, he showed it to me the first time. Like, they let you bring this in here.
Just so you know that we're real FBI, not posing. Otherwise, that was a very elaborate.
Yeah, it would have been interesting getting in here if you weren't.
Right. Well, you never know. You never know these days. We are who we say we are.
Yeah,
But like I said, we're going to go into some admin about this being completely voluntary and all that. But seriously, this is as relaxed as we can make it. You can take a break. Anytime you want to confer with counsel or have a side,
Okay.
talk. We can step out. If you would like to step out and use the restroom, get more water, whatever, just ask us.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So I'll go over, like you said, the admin, voluntariness. You can leave at any time. You don't have to answer a particular question even. If you want to stay and just not answer a certain one that you're uncomfortable with, that's all fine. It's fair game. Everything we're going to talk about is related to a sensitive investigation. So the way, at least just kind of like our promise to you, our intention going forward is to never tell anyone else that we speak with, like in across from the table that we spoke to you, to include things that you say. We're not going to attribute it to you. And the only thing we ask is what we talk about here. Aside from speaking to counsel, you do the same thing. Kind of just keep it amongst ourselves. The biggest reason is these type of matters that we work, the people involved reputations are usually at stake. And so, one, it affects our ability to do like a thorough and accurate and truthful investigation. But at the same time, we also don't want people's reputations to be tarnished
Gotcha.
on speculation and unfounded things because they get leaked out before we actually get a chance to actually just get all the facts. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, again, I can't make you do that, but it's just an ask for like professional courtesy kind of thing. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
All right. And the last thing is that we have to tell you as a part of our spiel is that because this is because this is a true FBI investigation, everything you tell us has to be truthful. No lying or anything like that. Otherwise, that'll become a false statement. And if you were going to Google it, it is 18 USC 1001. So, like no lying to the FBI, no false official statements, things like that. Any questions?
No.
Okay. If you're not sure about something, because if we're going back a ways, you can just say, hey, I'm not sure. We're not strict like that.
Okay.
Like if you tell me you're not sure about something, and that's fine, you can say, I'm not sure, but I think it's this. That's fine, and I won't hold you to that.
Yeah. Okay.
But sometimes even what you think you remember kind of gives us a little bit of color. And so if you're comfortable with doing that, we're welcome to hear it as well.
Okay.
Any questions? No? All right. So a little background about you. So what do you do right now?
Right now, I am titled as his personal aide, personal assistant.
And we're talking about President Trump?
Correct.
Okay.
And as far as what I do on a daily basis, kind of, I'm with him maybe from 7 to 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Depending on the schedule.
Okay. And when you say what you do?
I mean, just kind of being there and making sure if he needs something.
Okay.
Then I'm there,
I gotcha. It's kind of like odd and end things, right?
Yeah.
That you can't really write down.
It's hard to pinpoint, yeah.
Okay. You're kind of like the go-to guy just to make life easier for him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. What were you doing during the previous administration, his administration?
His administration. What was I doing?
Yeah. Like, what was your job then?
I was his valet for the time that I was there.
Okay. To my understanding, valets are military.
Correct?
And you were in the Navy, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did a quick little just Google search. Most of the time, I get nothing. But sometimes I saw that you got selected for senior.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, yeah, so one, congratulations, right?
Thank you.
So, because yeah, I know chief is pretty tough to get by itself. So getting senior, you would still, that's pretty good. But you're out of the Navy now, right?
Yeah. Were you Navy?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. I was in what they used to call crypto. I think now they call them informational warfare, but.
Yeah. Not many people know how the prestige of a chief is. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
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 So that's.
You're not allowed to geek out on me right now. Laughter.
Otherwise, you're going to start going all Navy talk, and...
Not me. I'm not... Yeah. It's just... I don't hear it that often when people know the transition from chief to senior chief.
Yeah.
So it's ironic, like, as I'm doing this. I don't hear that often.
Yeah. So that kind of lights the question. So you get selected for senior. Were you just kind of wanted to do some new thing in your life? Get out the Navy? Or, like, why didn't you stay in longer in the Navy? Since you made senior? Because it looked recent.
Yeah, it was September the last prior to out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually 21st. 21, I mean. And then essentially, I was already going to re-enlist for 3 more years, for the higher tenure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a call from them saying, hey, do you want to come? We're offering you a job. Do you want to come do the same thing you're doing?
Okay.
And I was like, let me see. I'm right there. I already got 20 years. I was like, okay. So I was just like, change of scenery. Change it up.
An offer you couldn't refuse.
Yeah. It's not often a former president calls you and say, hey, you want to come work for me?
Did he call you personally?
No.
Oh, okay, but still, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Let's pretend I didn't ask that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically called you. But you were a culinary specialist, and from my understanding, a lot of like the culinary specialists' ratings are kind of working as valets at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest I don't know if it's just because I'm a product of my generation, but I was thinking maybe a Navy chef working directly for the president. Like, is he really a chef? Because I kept thinking, Under Siege.
I am.
Yeah.
I was. That's the story I like to tell people.
You're a SEAL, aren't you? It's okay.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest things as a valet as the Navy takes care of. You know, it's executive residence that we take care of. And the first family.
Mm-hmm.
So we provide food security. The main thing is food security.
Okay.
So, and then you have a branch of that team which is dubbed the valets.
Uh-huh.
Which we do a little bit of. We do that and take care of first family's personal needs.
Okay.
So that's...
I mean, the things you have to see, like, and whatnot. Because, I mean, honestly, I've met a few people in the rating, like, on the ship and whatnot. But can you imagine, like, working from a ship environment?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're in the White House. Like, holy.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, even till this moment. It is like, wow. Now, how do I transition from a guy who used to scramble eggs to now I'm working for a former president?
On a resort, and from my gathering, just from stuff, you're going to be going to New Jersey too. And then thank you for accommodating us. And but I mean, the travel and everything, because you probably go with the president everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So even if he's going to like a campaign rally or something like that, like you're just his guy?
Everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
Everywhere he goes, I go about 95% of the time.
Okay.
Except for days like this.
What? He's not here?
No, I mean, I'm not with him right now.
Ooh, no. Oh, okay. I just thought you meant like he left you. I'm like, oh, sorry.
He's waiting for us in the lobby.
Okay, we'll be quick. Don't want to leave the man waiting. So, do you get to fly with him? Then, like, on his...
Everywhere he goes, I go.
So that must suck when you have to take, like, normal flights. You know, like, or do you even do that anymore?
No.
No, laughs.
It's been a while.
You mortals, no.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're spoiled a little bit, so...
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm sorry. I did geek out a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, I had to rein him in, because it was going to start...
All right.
When he started quoting Under Siege, we were done.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of the boring stuff. The reason, what kind of prompted our interest in everything. I don't know if you saw in the news, but in January 17th, 2022, President Trump and his representatives had were in negotiations with representatives of the National Archives. And it was Eastkeeping's agreed upon on having a certain number of boxes returned to the U.S. government for presidential records and things such. So a truck driver arrived at Mar-A-Lago on the 17th, received said boxes, and brought them to Nara. You remember hearing about that in the news?
I do.
Okay. And then we have an interest in it based on some of the things some anomalies that they found. And have you heard about those in the news?
No.
They found that some of the documents had classified information.
Okay.
Again, like some documents, whatever, like we don't really know what it means. We are kind of attacking this from like a perspective, like, all right, if there were classified documents, and he's probably tired of hearing me saying this, but if there were classified documents, were they at least kept in a somewhat controlled environment? Could they have been exposed to a foreign intelligence service or something like that? Can we answer these type of questions the best that we can?
And whatever we can't answer, if we can't answer, we can't answer. But we give this information to the intelligence community, and then the people who own these different pieces of intelligence, they make the decision. Like, it's not worth the risk, and we've got to shut it down because we don't want these people's lives to be on the line. We don't want people to know that our ships have these capabilities.
Yeah.
And work around them and all that kind of stuff. Like, we got to change it up or something like that.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot easier if we can tell them for sure X, Y, and Z, so they know exactly what needs to be shut down and what doesn't, right? So that's kind of the reason why we're looking into this. So that day, on January 15th, January 17th, were you involved at all with these boxes?
I was.
Okay. Tell me about that day.
So we moved the boxes, myself and from Pine Hall.
I've heard that name before. Cash
Patel.
Okay.
Yeah. I just recall saying, hey, we gotta move some boxes. To be fair, even as close as I am with him, I should be reading the news much more, but it's just, I've learned too much to try to keep up with what's what. So when you ask me...
Yeah, that's fine.
Cash asked me to move some boxes. We moved the boxes. We transported to a car, and then we met the individual outside in a parking lot.
Okay.
With a truck, and we loaded it onto his truck.
Uh-huh.
Cash signed the papers, and that was it.
Okay. All right. About how many boxes?
I don't really recall.
Okay.
How many? It's in the range of 15 to 17, I believe.
Okay. And that's fine. Because if you said something like, no, we delivered 30 and the archives only got 15, I'd be like, okay, now need to talk to that truck driver. Did you make a stop somewhere? No, I get it. And the fact that you don't check the news, you're talking about, say, we're law enforcement, but even what happened a couple days ago, at some point you'd have to turn it off, just been
Yeah.
There's only so much you can.
No, that's kind of how I survive, especially being a retired service member. I was...
Yeah.
Had to always stay, in the middle. So that's why I don't tune into that as much as I should.
That's fair.
One thing I do want, that truck was huge. It couldn't come on property. Like
an 18 or 21, whatever kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, this is a lot of truck for this many boxes.
For 17, 15 boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did it go? Do you know?
I don't know.
Where was the pickup? Do you remember?
Right outside Mar-A-Largo.
Right outside.
There's a bigger parking lot that he met us at, or that we met him out there.
Okay. So you said you had to pick up the boxes. Where did you pick them up from?
Pine Hall.
I actually don't know what that is, Pine Hall.
It's a room right outside the suite, his suite, their suite.
Oh, okay. The president's suite?
Correct?
So his living, his home area?
Yeah.
There's a room outside of it, and that's called a...
Pine Hall.
Pine Hall. Pine Hall. Okay. That's where you picked them up?
Mm-hmm.
They were all just stacked right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you load them up into a car and just brought them over to the driver?
Yes.
Right. Did you look inside any of those boxes?
No.
All right. Did Cash look inside any of those boxes?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I didn't see Cash open any box while we were together.
Okay. And these boxes, they were in the suite the whole time?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Now, this is a living area. So does the president just keep all his boxes in his living area? 15. Even though it's not a lot for this huge truck, it would be a lot for a house. I would imagine.
I'm not sure. I don't know. You know where he kept these boxes. I just know that they were in Pine Hall when Cash asked me to come.
Okay.
Come there and, move the boxes.
All right. Can you describe these boxes?
They were white. A mixture of white and brown.
Okay.
Maybe Xerox boxes.
Okay.
And I think some banker boxes if I, remember right.
Gotcha. Okay. Did the president ever tell you what these boxes were for?
No.
Okay.
Did Cash ever tell you what they were for?
No. Just most of the times it was just we got to move the boxes.
That's fair.
It's a little easier to indiscernible 03030 in that regard, because I kind of just do as I'm told.
Uh-huh.
So I don't ask questions. I just kind of do it.
Okay. Did anybody else in the staff help with the boxes?
That day?
Mm-hmm.
No, just Cash and I.
Okay. How about any other day? Moving. Boxes and such?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you aware of any boxes being brought to his home, his suite?
No.
No? Not from my understanding, from talking to lots of people, one of the things about the president is he likes to work with paper, and things will get brought to him.
Yeah.
To kind of be able to work. And it's just how the genius kind of flows, right?
Yeah.
Through his paper. But so you don't know of anyone who, provides paper documents or such to him?
I mean, there's a multitude of us that, the staffers that provide documents and paper to him, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. I meant just documents in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me a little about that. So what does that look like?
I mean, it's more so, it's either a newspaper or an article that somebody's found online.
Mm-hmm.
They'll print it out and give it to him in that regard. That's pretty it. The gist of it.
Do they knock on the door?
I don't know what they do.
Okay.
I do know we just deliver them. Most of the time, from what I've seen, they just kind of either give it to him or deliver it for him. Deliver it in Pine Hall.
In Pine Hall?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me go back. Is Pine Hall just kind of, like it described that, is that just a room outside of his front door?
It's probably half the size of this.
Okay.
And it's got 2 chairs and a coffee table.
Okay.
And it's more of a sitting area. There's a door to the left. When you're standing in the room, there's a door to the left, a door in front of you, 2 chairs and a coffee table.
Okay.
It's like a really small library. That door to the left, as I like to tell everybody, it's a door of unknown. Like, I've never gone down that door. I don't know where it leads to.
Okay.
And then there's that door that you go through, that they come out of, it's to another small room. And then that room from there's 2 doors that go into their suites.
I see. Okay.
So Pine Hall is no bigger than half the size of this room.
I just want to make sure I got it right. Or actually, I don't want to. Do you mind kind of just doing a quick square drawing just so I understand? Because you said there's 2 doors when you're in Pine Hall, and just so I understand it, but one, goes to the suite, one you don't know where it goes, but I'm assuming there's a 3rd door because you have to enter Pine Hall somehow.
Well, yeah, that's, as you were saying that, that's what I was just thinking. I was like...
Oh, okay. So, if I drew it, would you, or did you want to just...
No, you can draw it. I'll point it out to you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What, you're afraid we're going to judge you on your art?
Yeah.
Laughter. Okay. So I'm going to just draw, what I assume to be Pine Hall. You said a door in front of you leads to another small room, then it has...
That's it. This is the where. This where you enter.
So this is where you enter. Okay.
And there's a door here. Yeah.
And then here you've got the suite. Octane salt. Which big mansion.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Is this a standalone, is it like a standalone, like a villa? Or is it part of the...
I think it's an extension. It's really weird. It's because it's Pine Hall, then it's a small room, and then 2 suites.
Yeah.
So when you say standalone, do you...
where's the front door? Does it lead to, a hallway in the club? Or does it lead to,
No, it's right outside. Right outside.
To grass, into the yard?
Right onto the steps into property.
Property, okay.
Yeah.
Since you're with him a lot, no, when he's working in his office, which my understanding is it's not in the suite, he's got an office space in Mar-A-Largo as well, separate.
Mm-hmm.
But where are you during the day typically?
Probably at the golf course, yeah. Probably at the golf course or moving around, picking up, some personal items for him.
Okay.
or just on property.
So he just knows to reach out to you if...
Yeah.
Okay. Like, just calls your cell or something like that and say, hey, can you come by? I need help with this.
Very rarely, if I'm not next to him, he'll call, or he'll probably just have Cash or Molly reach out and say, hey, he wants you now. Come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been inside his, office space?
You mean his office space? Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen boxes stored there?
I've seen boxes stored there.
Of how about any boxes that resembled what it is that you brought to...
No.
Okay. How about U.S. government working documents, whether they were in a box or outside?
No.
Okay. Have you seen anything with classification markings?
No.
Nothing like that. Okay. Is there any other place that the president could have kept boxes?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge.
No.
Okay, all right, let's see. Are there storage rooms, or who's in control of the property there? Because my understanding that there's your staff, then there's Mar-A-Lago staff, and it's different.
That's the big question. We don't know who runs the storage units there.
Okay.
That's the inside of the property. There's multiple people. There's Carlos, there's Nelson, there's Christina from my understanding, and it's between the three of them.
Uh-huh.
Carlos does the operations side, Nelson does maintenance, and Christina runs the club.
Okay.
And she's also the CFO from my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys would probably have a better answer of what storage units are on property.
Okay. And since you mentioned storage units, so there are storage units on property?
Yeah. I mean, there's the beach club, which has multiple storage rooms, you know.
Okay. But as far as you know, no. Rooms have held or did hold, like, boxes similar to what you brought onto the truck.
As far as I know, no.
All right. So to the best of your knowledge, you're saying that those boxes that you brought onto the truck, first time you ever laid eyes on them was just the day of when Cash needed you to,
Correct.
lost sin to take them. Okay. All right. And you have, let's see, I might go on. Let me just double check my notes here. Since we've heard there's a downtown office. What is the downtown, like here in West Palm? Or is it, when they say downtown, do they mean something like Miami?
No, they mean down here in West Palm.
Okay. Do you know the address? I have no idea how to find this place.
And the only thing I know about there is I've been there twice, I think.
Okay.
And it's on North Flagler. I couldn't tell you the exact address. If I drove there, I probably could find it.
Okay. All right.
Field trip?
Hey, I was going to ask for a tour of Mar-A-Lago because I've never been.
Last time I was there, it's overwhelming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people here. They've done the tours and stuff like that. And they say, like, it's just a massive place. And I've only seen, like, the pictures and the outside. I don't think it does it justice, right?
I avoid that place at all costs.
Mar-A-Lago?
No, that downtown office.
Oh, no, I haven't even talked about. I'm talking about, like, Mar-A-Lago itself, like a tour.
Oh.
But I imagine that's a lot more fun than the office. Why do you avoid the office, though?
It's just out of pocket, meaning it's a drive.
Oh, okay.
There's no reason for me to be there. You know, they have their own staff there that handles things. I'm not really involved in the political side or the business side of things. My role is more personal assistant, logistics, that kind of thing.
Okay. So if we wanted to know since you said there's a little bit of this unknown of who controls what storage areas and stuff like that, if we wanted to find out, hey, were these boxes stored somewhere? Like, who would be the person to ask about?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Cash would know?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Cash say anything about where the boxes came from?
No.
All right. Cash and Molly and... you ever talk to them about...
Very minimal. Molly probably only because we're there for dinners when he's having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just making conversation.
Okay. Is there a decent working relationship with the Mar-A-Lago staff?
I think I'm the only one with them, because I interact with them probably more so than the rest of them, only simply because of the proximity.
Uh-huh.
But I would say it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is Carlos's title? Do you know or Carlos's role there?
I wish I could tell you. Carlos has a couple hats. He's the property manager from my understanding.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about Christina?
From what I was understanding, Christina's the CFO.
CFO. Got it.
Same. Nelson's I couldn't tell you who was operational and...
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And your for at least Nelson. You're thinking Nelson. You're not saying Nelson absolutely is a Nelson's role.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know for sure his exact title.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. When we were kind of like figuring out all the different people we want talked to, like even in the White House itself, the titles confuse me, right? Where
Very.
You have special assistant, deputy assistant, assistant, and I would have thought the special assistant was probably more special than an assistant, and yet that was the complete opposite, right? Everything was confusing to me.
From what I gathered, it's just a matter of how they get paid.
Yeah.
Oh, on the pay scale. So if you're a deputy assistant, special assistant, or executive assistant, or senior advisor, that's all depending on how you get paid.
Yeah. It's a learning curve for me. I think at some point I'd just be like, yeah, I forget the titles too. I just want to know what your name is. So, okay, let's see. Excuse me. In your time that you've been with the president after the administration, have you ever noticed him have U.S. government documents with him?
No.
Okay. Even when he's on travel, does he bring documents, any kind of boxes with him when he travels?
When we travel, I do carry a box or two with him.
Mm-hmm.
And, 100% of the time, it's majority the same newspapers that I give him that day.
Okay.
Or the printout articles for that day.
Were there ever been U.S. documents?
I don't know.
In any of those? Okay.
Yeah.
When you said you don't know, but you're sure there were newspapers, so just explain, so I don't make assumptions. You know it's newspapers, but you're not sure if it's documents?
Well, it would be the newspapers that we put in a box.
Yeah.
And then I'd take that box.
Okay.
That's how I know. That's how I would be carrying these boxes.
Okay. So who puts these boxes together?
It's either Molly or somebody from the front office.
Okay.
And then he always just had the box for me in Pine Hall, and I would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Take the box.
Have you ever had an occasion to go through it?
No.
To grab something for him?
No.
Or find something? Has he ever asked you to find, like, an article and you would go through it?
Nope. No.
He does. Handles that himself?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
While you're at the White House, have you ever been inside the White House residence?
Yes.
Okay. Were there stacks of boxes in the residence?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of stuff were in these boxes?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you help at all with the moving of these boxes at the end of the administration?
I helped moving. I did help moving boxes, but not those boxes.
Okay. Who moved those boxes?
I think it was a gambit of like White House staffers. I don't know who they were.
Okay.
I do know they were hired from White House staff.
Uh-huh.
The Trump Hotel was the guy who was in charge, and he hired, I guess, another company, moving company.
Uh-huh.
And they were helping him moving the boxes.
Okay. And these boxes, because you seemed like you kind of knew what I was talking about. Were these working document boxes?
I don't know. It's a mixture of boxes that were in there.
Okay.
Majority of the boxes that I helped packed up, or all the boxes that I helped packed up were just personal items.
Okay. Were you aware of any boxes of government documents in the residence?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay.
When did you leave the White House?
Officially?
Uh-huh.
I think May.
Okay.
Sometime around.
So you didn't come in January down here?
I did come here in January. So when he left the office, there was two of us, two Navy valets.
Mm-hmm.
And Crawford and Dinta Crawford, and he came down for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I came down and I relieved him, I think, sometime in February, February, and then I left first week or so of March.
Okay. Who was the other valet?
So were you on the sort of the last plane out with him?
We did. So there was 3 valets.
Okay.
And dos and photographers. So I was one of the few people that we came down here, but also flew back.
Okay. And who was the third one on the plane?
Will Crockett, Ph.
Will Crockett. Okay. So our understanding is that the president this is sort of his MO, is to travel with these boxes, since he liked everything in paper, and there's just a lot. So on the very last plane out, he put those boxes with him. On any trip, basically, these boxes follow him, and our understanding is it was the valets that carried the boxes.
It was a mixture of us and his body guy at the time.
The body guy, okay.
Yeah.
And who was the body guy at the time?
At the time, Nick Luna.
Okay. Is it body guy or body man?
It's the same thing.
Okay, we both just hear both.
I don't even know if there was an official, name.
I don't think that's the official. I think there is an official title on it.
Right.
But that's like their colloquial title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But have you ever served that role? The body guy or body man?
Now I am.
Now you are?
Essentially.
So you serve that. Okay.
I assume, yeah. I never use that. Tittle?
Okay.
But yeah.
But others might use that for you?
Probably, yeah. They just know me as Walt.
Okay. So it was you, Will Crockett, and Nick Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where either one of those individuals are now?
I don't know where Will is.
Okay.
I believe Nick Luna is still at the White House.
Still at the White House, okay. But not employed for the Trump organization now, as far as you know?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
So I just want to summarize everything, just to make sure I'm hearing it. So you were aware of some boxes in the residence. You don't know necessarily if they contained working documents, government documents, but you didn't pack those up. It would have been maybe another group of people, staffers or such, that could have packed it. You're not saying who.
I don't know who it was, yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And from the end of inauguration, while you're kind of coming back here and then going back to the White House, and eventually you move full-time with the staff down in Florida, one day Cash needs you to help Nick move some boxes that you saw 15 to 17 appear at Pine Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And you helped move those boxes into a car, to the truck driver's truck, and he puts them on his truck and drives off, in knowing that we're trying to track the life of these boxes and where they could have been kept and stored and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fart, do you have any information that could help us understand where they were kept, how they were kept, were they secured, were they locked? Something that makes the intelligence community feel better about these things, you know?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know.
But the way I summarized it is completely accurate.
Yeah.
To your recollection? Okay. Can you hypothesize where they could be?
No. I don't want to assume anything.
Just knowing. So what you know about Mar-A-Largo? Because it sounds like you have pretty much access to the entire place. Just your job.
I wish I did. No, I don't.
No? There's places you don't have access to?
Yeah. That would be more of the three names that I mentioned. That's their property.
Okay.
There's 45 office, and then there's Mar-A-Largo.
Okay.
So we don't have full access to the property.
You don't have... So what does 45 have access to? The 45 staff? There's the office space?
That's about all I know as far as, access.
And then the Pine Hill?
Correct.
Okay. But that's a pretty small footprint.
In terms of access.
Right, so these boxes had to be somewhere.
Right.
We were talking about a year. So can you guess where they could have been or where they could have come from?
I don't want to guess. My answer is, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Well, if you're comfortable with it, I'm okay with a guess, knowing that it is simply a guess. But, I mean, if you wanted to say us, I guess it could have been in the suite. I'm not going to take away saying, from you that you're saying it was in the suite, but maybe that you're saying that physically based on the things I was able to observe. The suite it could have been in, and I wouldn't know what's, not have been able to observe it. You know what I mean? Does that work for you guys? I'm just...
Maybe this will be helpful. If you had some boxes that you needed to store somewhere, are there any other areas that we haven't talked about yet? Where those would go?
Honestly, he has a lot. I mean, I've never been through as a former president. Not only as a former president, but as a billionaire, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, how much property he has. You know? And how everything works. So from all the properties here in South Florida, I'm better off just saying, I don't know,
Okay.
So because there's a lot, potentially.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of properties that I didn't even know he still owns. No.
But even within Mar-A-Lago, like he was saying, is there a place where boxes could be stored?
There's many storage units that I haven't, I assume that I haven't even, that could be places that aren't even storage units that there's a lot of doors on Mar-A-Lago.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, that makes us feel comfortable. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. So your involvement with these records was just helping on that, the day loading to the driver?
Correct.
Did you help at any other point in time with the boxes?
No, not with those boxes. Not to the only boxes. Any other boxes I helped out with moving was personal items.
Okay. And I mean, your talk about moving when you guys moved out of the White House to Mar-A-Lago, moving those personal items?
Correct?
Okay. So there was about a issue for year period where NARA was working with the various members of the 45 office and Trump representatives to negotiate some missing items. Were you aware of any of that?
No.
Were you involved in any of those conversations? Did you happen to witness or overhear any of them?
No.
Okay. There was. Our understanding is there was some back and forth and just trying to locate some things because our understanding is, well, all moves are messy. I can only imagine the White House move.
Yeah, that was a bad
Even just,
in time frame for us.
Very chaotic.
That was, yeah.
and, you know, things get mixed up, and I know there was some attempts to sort of just kind of figure out where things were.
Yeah.
Did you witness or see Cash or anybody involved in trying to locate items?
No, not to my recollection.
Okay.
All I remember is it was literally chaos.
Okay.
And if that moving day is what you're asking about, it's just, I couldn't remember who was who because it was just me and my counterpart packing all the personal items there and everyone else was just shoving everything in a box.
Okay.
You know.
Well, what about afterwards, like after the move? So, because that happened, there were some items that should have gone to NARA that didn't, so I know NARA was trying to recover them. And they were calling and sending emails saying, hey, we need, this item, this thing, and I know they were interacting with staff. So I didn't know if, given that it's a small, it's really a small footprint.
Yes.
There at Mar-A-Lago.
Yes.
I didn't know if you helped locate any of those items or saw maybe Cash or Molly or anybody.
No.
Sort of try to find things?
Not that no.
Not that, okay.
Yeah.
And so you only saw the 15 boxes, 17 boxes, the day of the move? Even they just showed up that day?
They were in Pine Hall. Cash just asked me, hey, can we move some boxes?
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
So you didn't know? Had no idea how they got there before?
No.
About how many Mar-A-Lago staff employees are there, if you had to guess? Like, I know it's just a guess, but are we talking like 5?
No, it's probably 15, 20.
15?
Yeah.
And they just are all around the property?
Yeah. I don't even know who's like an actual Mar-A-Lago employee, but I just see there's constant faces,
Uh-huh.
So my guess is 15, 20 actual employees for Mar-A-Lago.
Right.
And then everything is subcontracted, I guess, I'm assuming, because these are everything is contracted out, I guess,
So, on the property, aside from guests, you said there's subcontracted people that are also on the property?
That is my guess, yes.
Okay. And how many of them do you think on average?
I don't know.
Like more than...
Well, it depends. If you've got somebody who's taking care of, landscaping.
Oh, okay.
Or you got somebody who's taking care of painting.
Electrical work.
Electrical work, yeah. It all depends.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to summarize everything, just to make sure I wasn't mishearing anything, because we were trying to talk to you for a while before I even reached out to you. Honestly, no one could give me your last name, so it took me a long time to find you. But
no one gave you my last name?
Well, they all knew you as Walt, And then when they tried to say it, I guess they were trying to Nauta, but they didn't know you enough to say it, right? So what they were giving us was like a gargle.
Thanks for saying it right. Yeah.
Is that the right? Okay. Well, the reason why, so we've had to talk to a lot of people, and your name comes up, and here's the White Selm thing. So now we seem to have a discrepancy here. You're corroborating everything we said about being, helping out in the day, bringing the boxes to a truck driver, because, imagine like there's a lot of people we talked to who were able to see that day. There's video cameras everywhere. There's whatever. But so all that jives. But when it comes to a storage unit or a storage room on Mar-A-Lago and your presence within it, I'm getting conflicting stories now.
Okay.
And so I just want to make sure, just for the record, I mean, if you're telling me absolutely, like, I never saw a room with these boxes stored in it or any other boxes like them stored in it. Correct me if I'm speaking. But if that's what you want to say, you know, I'll write it down. But that'll be the official record.
Yeah.
Right? And I just want to make sure, like, I'm not mistaking, right? Because the information we got, it was pretty certain. Like you said, there's over a dozen people that's just saw that you see walking around the property here, and we've talked to a lot of people, and you were seen in it in this storage room. So I just want to make sure that I am.
I mean, there is multiple storage rooms there, you know, that people go in and out, that I've gone in and out. So if you're asking if I gone into a certain storage room, there's multiple storage rooms that I've gone into.
But carrying a box that goes to Pine Hall?
Yeah.
That looks just like the ones that we described.
All. A lot of his personal items carry the same. It's all in the same box.
Okay, but now you've looked inside these boxes?
His personal items.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
So when you say personal items, what are personal items? Maybe we're in team...
Hairspray, shampoo.
Okay, that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff.
Okay. And so this stuff is stored in the storage rooms?
Yes. He is quite the hoarder with these particular items. Deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, multiple hairspray cans, that's... yeah.
Okay. Who else has been with you in these storage rooms?
Just Carlos.
Okay.
Just Carlos.
All right. Does Carlos ever say or tell you about anything else that's in the storage rooms?
No.
Would Molly have a reason to be in the storage rooms?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And I don't know if I'm assuming why was Carlos in the storage room?
Carlos is probably the only one person I know who goes into multiple storage rooms as well.
Okay, but do you know why?
No.
Okay. Have you ever asked why?
No.
All right.
So when you say multiple storage rooms, what are we talking about number-wise?
I don't know number-wise. I couldn't give you.
No?
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2? 5?
Yeah. You know, a couple storage rooms, and it's even the storage unit, you know, in the office, so it all varies.
Okay. But all these storage rooms can't all be personal items. I mean, they can't all be shampoo.
No, you're right, yeah.
Okay. So, and you might not know because you have not seen the inside of the boxes.
Correct.
But is it feasible that one of these storage rooms is where these 15 boxes, could have come from?
I don't want to assume, but there's, you know, hypothetically speaking...
That's a reasonable place where they can be.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Are there any storage units outside of the Mar-A-Largo property that you're aware of?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know?
I think...
Go on. Do you know where they are?
I think it's U storage, PH. Don't quote me on that U storage. I don't know. Life storage, PH, I believe. U storage, life storage.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
Like a commercial.
A commercial one.
Like a commercial that you rent. Okay. Is it here in Palm Springs, Palm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does the office, your own Flagler office, does that have a storage?
I don't know if they have an...
You don't know?
I don't know if they have a storage unit.
Okay.
It's a huge office.
It's a huge office.
Yeah.
Do you know if Mar-A-Lago currently has a SCIF?
A SCIF?
A SIF space or space for, you know, for classified.
I don't know.
Do you know if it had one before?
I don't know. SIF, that's meaning. You said classified space?
Right.
I'm asking because I'm trying to remember the military term.
Right. It means it's a sensitive...
Compartmented information facility.
Oh.
It gets thrown around. There's different degrees, but essentially a room that's been designated by security personnel.
Right. Well, it's a room where you can have classified information discussions. Usually there's like a safe.
Got to leave your intro.
There's
got to leave your phones out.
Not that I know of.
There's usually a sign-in log if you're not one of the people with the badge.
Yeah. I don't know.
And sometimes they're temporary, sometimes they're permanent. But I didn't know if there was anything like that.
Other than our little table right into the office that says leave your phone. That's not an actual SCIF, but no.
Okay.
Like going into the situation room.
Right.
Right. That would have been...
Probably something like that.